Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're looking at Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. This book came out in 2018 to a really positive reception. You see on the front there, it says over 4 million copies sold. I got this book because I kept seeing it on lists and in my book recommendations, despite the fact that I don't usually buy these, what you might call self help books. But I thought, this is a topic that should be pretty useful to read about, so I got it. I'm not going to go really deep into the methods discussed in this book because this is a book that's been covered ad nauseum on YouTube. In fact, there's a decent chance that you've already reviewed this book yourself if you're watching this. As mentioned in the title, Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones, teaches the reader the importance of self awareness and tips to maximize your odds of success where habits and behavior in general are concerned. The way this book works is to take advantage of the knowledge that we've gained in different areas of psychology, most importantly, behaviorism, through the work of names like B.F. Skinner, Edward Thorndike, and Ivan Pavlov, and others. Something I appreciated was that besides just psychology, the author would also offer explanations for the neuroscience, the physiology, and evolutionary biology behind why some of the things he's saying work the way they do. And I think this helps the reader to maybe personalize some of the approaches used in this book because many of the examples in this book do seem a little specific for the author. But I do feel like he was more focused on just making sure that the reader understands the material on a fundamental level rather than just saying, here's a list of things to do. That being said, this book does have quite a lot of what are essentially lists of things to do. He's broken everything down into easy to follow, regimented systems, which I think a lot of people like. It's not really my style, but I can see why so many people like this book. He's taken all these different studies on human behavior and using this knowledge, crafted systems to maximize our odds of success should we decide that we want to change our behavior. It's all stuff that you've probably heard if you've taken psychology classes. It's also filled with tips like alter your environment in ways that are more conducive to meeting your goals, make it so that the right choices will be easier, more attractive, and more rewarding, and also to do the opposite for the bad choices. There's kind of this central theme of continuing to make very small incremental gains, and eventually they'll have added up to something very significant. That's where the title Atomic Habits comes from. Reading this book, I was thinking, I bet this is just what Baby Steps by Dr. Leo Marvin is like. Comment below if you've heard of Baby Steps by Leo Marvin. Another thing I noticed while reading this book is that I felt like the author does have a little bit of the ivory tower effect going on. It's clear that from an early age, the author has been intelligent and highly motivated. And from childhood on, he was always actively improving himself. So it's probably pretty easy for him to follow the systems in this book. And I'm not sure how much he appreciates that it might be very different for somebody else. And there's a lot of very personal stuff that goes into things like serious behavior changing. Each person is a unique product of a unique set of circumstances, and it may not be as easy as just following a system. I also thought that if you are motivated enough to do the things in this book, you could probably find the will to get it done without reading a book like this. I quit smoking cigarettes a couple years ago, and I was amused to see that the way I did it is something that the author talks about in this book, but that doesn't explain why it didn't work for the first 20 years of me trying to quit. That being said, I could see how reading this book could have an effect of motivating a person to want to make some changes. For a person to see it written out that it is within your ability to formulate and achieve your goals could in itself have the effect of catalyzing a change in behavior. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's something or some goal that you've been thinking about pursuing in your life, my advice is to first determine how in touch with yourself you can be and ask honestly what this goal really means to you. If it's significantly important to you, I think just knowing that is a very good start. You may or may not be helped by a book like this. If you think maybe you would, or if you just feel that you could use a little motivation, check out Atomic Habits by James Clear.